everybody, my name is Kyle3639. Welcome back to another video. Today in this one I'll be doing another tier list video, and in this one I'll be covering the meta decks post 250th YCS. Yeah, so I think everyone knows how a tier list works at this point, so I'll be either ranking these decks in tier 1, 1.5, 2, rogue, or everything else. I don't think there's really a tier 0 deck, so there's no point of putting something like that on this list. So yeah, without further ado, we got a lot of decks to cover. Let's get straight into the video, shall we? We're going to start off with Lyralist Tribagage. Man, you remember when this used to be the top deck bird up with like Sword Soul in that format? Man, that was a fun format, but Samorg is gone now, unfortunately. I think the Lyralist stuff just doesn't do enough for this deck. I think if you're going to play some sort of splash version of Tribagage, play Tribagage Sprite in that case. We're going to put this in Rogue. Unfortunately, I like the deck a lot, but I think it's Rogue. I don't think there's really nothing to it. Unfortunately, I want to put this higher, but unfortunately, we're going to have to put it at Rogue here. Tribagage Sprite, the deck I was just talking about here. Interesting. We can do 1.5 or tier. It did top pretty high in the LA portion of the 250th YCS, so it does have something going for it. I'm going to put it at the top of tier 2 for right now. I think the sprites carry this deck a lot, and then the Tribagage getting you into Revolt and the Ancient Warrior Oath is always going to be good as well. Just the problem is you have to play a bigger version of the Tribagage stuff, and I don't know. I think it's very good, but I think there are better sprite versions out there right now. But I do like this deck a lot. Sword Soul. This is interesting. I actually might put this in tier 2 or maybe like bottom 1.5. I don't, it's weird, right? Sword Soul, it's never gotten hit. The only thing that's ever hit Sword Soul was Protoss. The deck is like, all of it is there, unfortunately, but it just doesn't do enough, I feel like. We're gonna put it in tier 2. Yeah, we'll put it above Tribagage Sprite, I think. Maybe I should rank this higher. Nah, we'll keep this tier 2. I think Sword Soul is a very good deck, but I think a lot of people just knows what it's trying to do, knows exactly what to hit and what to counter as well. Something like Book of Eclipse hits Sword Soul immensely. It's super insane against that deck. So it's like, I don't know, we'll keep it in tier 2. Even though it is a very good deck, there are better decks than it. Runic Sprite. I think anything with Runic in it is always going to get a 1.5 for me. I think the Runic engine is super good this format. I think Runic Sprite is probably the worst version of Runic, which is surprising because you would think the sprites go along with it because the fusion being level 2 and stuff. But we have seen in this format, there are other versions of Runic that you could play over the sprite. Like Castria has been playing Runic stuff. You can also play the Naturia Runic deck as well that does better than this. Yeah, so we're going to keep it in 1.5 just because the Runic and sprites together are going to be very good, but I think there just is better Runic stuff than this deck there. Punk Therion here. So you're playing the Punk engine to get into the Synchro 8 that dumps Lily, and then you overlay for the new XYZ for the Springans, I think, and then that stretches you the Therion stuff. We're gonna put this in Rogue, I think. I love the Punks a lot. I really do. This deck is fun to play. I just don't think it's gonna compete with these guys up here because I feel like if you do hit the right things in this deck, if you do hit that Synchro 8, it is kind of like, kind of a game over kind of thing. But, overall, I think it's a decent deck. It did top pretty well in I think it got top 32 in the 250th YCS in LA. So it does have something going for it, but I'm just going to put it in Rogue for now. Evil Twin Sprite. I feel like, man, Sprite's just everywhere. Sprite is an insane engine. You just have to find the right engine for it. Evil Twin Sprite, I think it might be better than the Tribagage version of the deck, but it's not that much better, I think. I feel like I'm going to put this in tier 2 for right now. We'll see once the list keeps going along to see where I actually end up putting that, but I think tier 2 is fine. It has the 1 card starter with the twins and stuff, and the sprites get you into other stuff. I think there are just better versions. 1 point, maybe I put this 1.5. How about top of tier 2? I think I like the top of tier 2 more than putting it in the 1.5 category. Again, it has a lot of things going for it. You have the twins to interrupt and stuff, and you also have the sprite stuff to get that interaction as well. Yeah, we'll keep it like that. We'll keep it like that. Sky Striker, that's actually got a top in the YCS, but I'm going to put it in Rogue. I don't think it's actually that great of a deck. I think if you're going to play a control deck, I think there are better versions of control decks. We're going to put it, we'll put it above Lureless Tri-Brigade. I don't know. This is one of those things that lost like its most important card in something like Mystic Mine, so you can't really like, going second with this deck absolutely sucks in a format like this. Like Widow Anchor is nice and stuff, but I don't know. I think Sky Striker by itself just doesn't do enough for you. I know it's more of a control heavy, but I think like the sprites and stuff, especially something like Castria, will just run you out eventually. So we're going to keep this in Rogue. Marincess is a very interesting deck. It has a 1-card starter. It has the unaffected boss as a spell Trap Negate. We're going to put it in Rogue as well, unfortunately. I think I'm going to put it in the top of Rogue. It's a very good deck. It can play a lot of hand traps since it is just a 1-card combo, but I feel like it is somewhat interruptible if your deck, if they learn what your deck is trying to do and they know exactly what to stop, you know, then it becomes a lot harder to play, right? So we're going to keep this in Rogue. I feel like a lot of people are going to hate me for that. I think Rogue is probably fine for Marincess. Tier Limit, Castria, fucking Shizu. How is this deck not dead? It's there. There's a lot of things going for it. I'm going to put it in tier 2. I feel like it is better than the Rogue category. I feel like there's a lot of things going for it. I think the Cash Engine carries this a lot, but it does do enough where it is a fun deck to play as well. We're going to put this in tier 2. We'll put it above Tri-Brigade Sprite. We'll put it above Sword Soul. Yeah, we'll put it above Sword Soul. I think Evil Twin Sprite, maybe not. I think we'll put it below the Evil Twin Sprite. It's a very fun deck, very good as well, especially if you can be able to combo off. I think the Cash version, or the Cash Engine, carries this a lot though, which is unfortunate to see where tier has fallen. Drytron, I think Drytron is fucking insane in this format. The Bestials are gone. They have that Black Chaos Max with the Dynamon stuff going for it. We're still going to put it tier 2, unfortunately. I think it's not good enough to be 1.5. We'll go ahead and put it, honestly, I think it's better than Sword Soul. I think it's going to be right here. Yeah, we're going to put it right there. I think that's probably a fine spot for it. Drytron, very, very good. Even if your deck is here in tier 2, I still feel like tier 2 can compete with the tier 1s and tier 0.15 decks. So don't feel slighted if your deck is here. Because, well, I feel like if you're tier 2, you're still good enough to beat the tier 1, tier 0.15s, but the tier 1 and tier 0.15 stuff with a good pilot would probably beat you. But I feel like this Drytron is insane. OTK potential with something like Natasha is also insane as well. Yeah, we're going to put Drytron in tier 2. Labyrinth. This is interesting. So I'll put it in 1.5 for now, but it is falling off a lot. I didn't even top the LA YCS, which is unfortunate. It's just because trap decks just have a lot of things that out them, like Lightning Storm exists, Cosmic Cyclone, Twin Twister, Feather Duster, doesn't even, with something like Triple Tactic Thrust as well. I know it doesn't really matter for the trap deck, but I don't know. This just feels like people are figuring out what to do against this deck, unfortunately. I know it has a lot of things going for it, but there's just a lot of back row hate in this format. So you have to specifically draw Judgment or Lord of Heavenly Prisons, which a lot of decks are not playing. So yeah, we'll put it in for 1.5 for now, but I'm probably going to put it at the bottom of 1.5 for now. Castria, yeah, this is tier 1, instantly tier 1. Best deck in the format, had, you know, dominated all the fucking YCSs that happened this past weekend. Yeah, just macro pass, you know, the Arise Heart pass, that's a macro and a fucking shifter as well, is insane. The Unicorns and the Fenrir's are going second cards. They don't play that much engine, to be honest with you, so they can play a lot of going second cards if they really want to. They don't need your normal summons, so you can play something like Golem or Sphere mode, even though that's more slowly moving out. But I think Cash is probably the best deck right now. I know a lot of people think it's, you know, bad, but like, I mean, it just keeps dominating the format, so you can't say, I know there is a lot of outs to this as well, but, you know, I think it's still just the best deck in the format. Dark World, we're going to put it in Rogue. We'll put it, There. I think we'll put it there. Again, I know it has a lot of things going for it. You can't really play going second cards because you just need a good hand. You kind of need a 5-card hand to kind of keep going with this. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do the hand loops, guys, it's still pretty hard. Again, I don't know. I just don't. I thought it early in the format. I thought it'd be pretty decent, but it's as we've seen moving through the format, it just hasn't been as good as we thought it was. So we'll put it in Rogue for now. I think Striker is better than it. We'll put it at the bottom of Rogue. I think. I know that's pretty harsh, but we'll put it in the bottom of Rogue. Flunderies. This was surprising, actually. This got 2 tops, and it made it pretty far. Flunder is doing a lot right now without the Barry statue, which is so surprising. We'll put this in. Man, this is hard. I think I want to put it tier 2. I just don't know where to put it in tier 2. We'll put it above these. Like, oh man, this is like hard. Like, Flunder is a very decent deck right now. I think I'm gonna put it in. We'll put it above Drytron, I think. Again, very, very good deck, especially going first, going second. You're playing a lot of going second engine, something like evenly matched main deck and all that stuff. Just because Flunder, M-Pen is still an insane floodgate, right? It prevents all links, even though there's not many links going around. I think it's just insane. The trap, being able to normal summon during your opponent's turn, same thing with the field spell as well. Very, very good. Yeah, I'll put it in tier 2 for now. Flunder impressed me. I thought this deck was dead, but it impressed me. It is still somewhat alive. So it is tier 2 for now. Math Mech, we'll put this in 1.5. I think this goes... Oh, do I put it above Runic Sprite? I think I am. Yeah, I think Math Mech is pretty fucking... Nah, we'll put it there. Math Mech, very, very, very good deck. I mean, the only thing it dies to is something like Nib, but even then, you're getting the trap at that point. Deck is very insane. Just has the same combo lines. You're making either Heat Soul or you're playing your the Diameter, or with the Circular and stuff like that. Very, very good. It's insane. It has the OTK potential with the access code line. It can play a shit ton of hand traps because it doesn't really need that. It just needs the 1 card in Circular to kind of combo off. It's a very good deck. I think it's a 1.5 for me. Despia, man. Oh man, Despia is hard. I feel like I don't even think it's 1.5, to be honest with you. I think nah, because it's better than Labyrinth, I think. So I'll put it here. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. I think Math Mech and the Runic stuff is better than Branded. The problem with Branded is it dies to Ash a lot. Ash the Branded fusion is insane. You do have ways, something like the Blazing Cartesia going into the Grand Total, which can get you into what's that card's name? Corteris, which is at least you're not dead to that, and it gets you interaction. But Ash the Branded fusion always will hurt. So I'm gonna put this in 1.5. Tempted to put it in tier 2, but I think 1.5 is probably fine. Scareclaw. This is the surprising one of the format. Playing the adventure line with this stuff is very, very insane. We'll put it in tier 2 for sure. We'll put it here. I think we'll put it there. I think Scareclaw is nice. It has the Link 1 that can get you basically everything that you need. That make the Link 3 and then gets you that trap card, which I think pops a card, or I don't know. I forgot exactly what it does. I think this deck is insane, especially with the adventure line. Doesn't need its normal summon, which is insane. The Link 1 does everything for the deck. Yeah, we'll put it in tier 2. I don't think I'm going to put it any higher. I think that's probably fine. We got Dragon Link here. How much Dragon Link has fallen, huh? I think I'm gonna really put it at the bottom of tier 2, and maybe even Rogue. Like it's not great. No, I'll put it tier 2. I think tier 2 is probably fine. It sucks how much this dies, but if you verse Cash and they hit your Striker Dragon, you are fucked. Like, that is the worst thing that can happen to you right now, is the Cash can hit your extra deck and Striker Dragon is limited. So we're going to put it in the bottom of tier 2, nearly Rogue. I'm not going to put it in Rogue. Maybe I will. Like, it's there. It's possibly right there in Rogue. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it in Rogue. Man, that sucks. Yeah, we're going to put it in Rogue. I think it sucks. I like Dragon Link a lot, but yeah, I think there's just so many better decks than it right now. Yeah, I'm going to put it in Rogue. Ninjas. This was an interesting deck that got Jesse Cotton played it, so a lot of people started testing with this. I'm going to still put it in Rogue. I think it's all right. I think it's decent. We'll put it... We'll put it above Dark World for sure. We'll put it there, I think. Yeah, I think the Ninjas is just kind of fallen off just because it just doesn't quite do enough for the deck. Like, I feel like it's missing a couple things that would make the deck insane. I think there are just so many decks that are better than this, and once they figure out what you're trying to do, it just hurts the deck a lot. Yeah, we're just going to keep it there. I know a lot of people are probably going to hate me for it, because a lot of people do like Ninjas, but I think this is probably Rogue. Plunder. I'm also tempted to put this in Rogue. I'm going to put it higher. I'll put it, like, there. Again, another deck where I'm probably going to get hate for it, because a lot of people like Plunder. But I just don't see it. Like, it is good. It is good. It can beat a lot of decks, but... Yeah, my dog's barking. Fucking dog. But I think this is probably fine at Rogue. Maybe tier 2. Nah, we'll keep it at Rogue. We'll keep it at Rogue. It's a fine deck. It can win games a lot, especially with that new Synchro. But, I don't know. I think there's just so many better decks than it. Purely, right now, it's in everything else. This deck is pretty bad. Once the new support comes out, then maybe we can do something. But right now, it's just fucking utter garbage. There's no point of playing Purely right now until the new support comes out. Trap Trick. Trap Trick is 1.5. I think it's 1.5 for me. Yeah, a Holotea just does a lot. Triggering Sarah is insane, and then you're also a trap deck as well. I think this is probably fine to be in 1.5. Is it better than Labyrinth? I would say so. I would say Trap Trick is better than Labyrinth. Yeah, we'll keep it right there. Trap Trick is insane. I've been playing the deck myself. It is very, very, very good. As long as you don't brick, you can play something like Prod of Prosperity because you don't care about your extra deck that much to make it more consistent. Yeah, this is probably fine at 1.5. The Makonko Adventure stuff. Yeah, we'll put this in everything else. I just don't think it's that great. You would play the Libromancer stuff with this, I'm assuming, as well. It's just not as good as people think it is. It's in everything else for me. I don't think it's really that great. Rika Sun Avalon. The Rika stuff is good. I don't think the Sun Avalon stuff is that great. The Rika stuff has impressed me a lot, which is not the Sun Avalons. I don't really think you need to play it. Yeah, we'll put this in. We'll put this in. I think I'm gonna put this tier 2. I just don't know exactly where in tier 2. We'll put it there. I think Sword Soul is actually worse than I think it is. I think Sword Soul belongs down there as well. Yeah, again, the Rika stuff does a lot. The Con just being an insane going second card with any of your Rikas is just insane. It gets you a spell trap. You know, the Rika stuff, you know, contribute your opponent's stuff. I think the Rika stuff carries this deck a lot. I don't think the Sun Avalons are that great, but the Rika stuff does carry it a lot. So we're going to put this in tier 2. Runic Naturia. This is tier 1.5. It's nearly tier 1, I feel like. I think Cash is like really the only tier 1 deck right now. I'll put Runic Naturia in 1.5, the top of it. I think it is the best version of Runic you can be playing, unless you're playing like the Cash version of it. But very insane. This is a very insane deck to watch out for in this format. Probably the second best deck in this format. You know, Sprite being in the third place list there, I would say. Very, very interesting deck. It does a lot. You can set up the Beast. It can set up Naturia Beast, which, you know, stops a lot of spells in the format, which is insane. You can still play the Shizu stuff if you really want to in this deck as well. Very, very good. I think it's probably the second best deck in this format. Gold Pride Pronk! Man, I love this deck so much, and I can't wait until we get to see the new support. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it there. I think I'm going to put it there. I think the Therion version of this deck is better. The Punk Therion is better than what Punk Gold Pride is trying to do. But it's just not as good. It dies too evenly. It dies to Nibiru. It just doesn't set up on an Omni Negate, which is the unfortunate problem about this deck. Can't wait for the new support, though. I want to see what that can do. We got Sprite Melfi, which is interesting. We actually don't have Adventure Sprite. I think Adventure Sprite is very, very good, but we don't have it here. I think Sprite Melfi is insane. I'm going to put this in, yeah, we'll put it right there. Sprite Melfi. Melfi, you don't even need to play that much of a bigger package, but I feel like it's very, very good to get the return, and then it's just insane. It's just so good. You get the negate off the XYZ, and then you get the bounce back with the synchro, which is insane. I feel like, and then you of course have your Sprite stuff as well. Maybe the runic stuff is better, but I think again, very, very good deck for me. And then we got Furhire Runic. Again, Runic is insane, so Runic can carry a lot. I don't think I'm gonna put it in 1.5. I'm gonna put it, it's probably just me not knowing enough about the Furhire stuff, to be honest with you. I don't even think it, I'm gonna put it top of Rogue. I think if you're gonna play the Runic stuff, play it with like the Naturia or Sprite, or, you know, or even the Cash as well is pretty good. But yeah, I think this is probably Rogue. Again, I probably am fucking that up just because I don't know exactly what the Furhires are trying to do. But I think this is probably fine. So this is my tier list. Is there anything I would change? Just a quick glance over this real quick. No, I think this is just how the format is. I think Cash is really the only tier 1 deck in this format. There's a couple tier 1.5s, a lot of tier 2 stuff. That's, again, I know tier 2 might be not that great to many people. Again, if you're tier 2, that means you can still compete with the tier 1s and 1.5s and still win with it. It's just not as good. If you know, good pilots pilot this, they can beat this deck as well. Rogue, again, even in this format, is still decent just because of the fact that, again, this format is a lot of things can outcash, so you can play a lot of things that outcash and still do very well. And then everything else, I think these are the worst decks in, and why would you even play these? Purely, maybe you pick up once the new support comes out, maybe then it can become playable, but right now it's just doing nothing. So yeah, that is it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.